It's not good for patients, obviously. It's not good for the staff either. It's clearly not good for the government. Something has to give.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today in more detail at President Biden's trip to both sides of the Irish border. He's travelling there to mark the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreements that paved the way for peace in Ireland, accords that the United States helped broker back in 1998. The President's trip comes just weeks after the signing of the Windsor Framework between the UK and the European Union. It solved Brexit issues relating to cross-border trade in Ireland that had become a big irritant in the relationship between London and Washington, D.C. Matthias Matisse is a senior fellow for Europe at America's Council on Foreign Relations.
There is a silver lining of Northern Ireland being in its peculiar situation because of its geography and because of history, and they agreed not to have a customs border between the north and south. Northern Ireland is in the unique position is that it's a full part of the UK single market and a full part of the EU single market for goods. And that's one thing I think President Biden, when he goes there, will want to stress, is this is a very appealing place to invest in. Now, there is potentially, in theory at least, a great future for Northern Ireland in attracting foreign direct investment.
That will be music to Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's ears, but on the broader issue of a US-UK trade deal, the White House says no fresh progress has been made. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, US President Joe Biden will arrive in Northern Ireland later as part of commemorations marking 25 years since the Good Friday Agreement was signed. The Philippines and the United States are hosting their biggest ever joint military exercises amid heightened tensions in the region following China's military drills around Taiwan. And junior doctors in England have embarked on a 4-day strike asking for a 35% pay rise. That's the latest feature story news. Laura Macon-Isherwood reporting.
Hi, I'm Micah Hanks, host of the Micah Hanks program, where every week we go in search of the most unusual things that our world has to offer. From unexplained aerial phenomena and ancient mysteries to the latest in science and technology, on every episode we take you down the rabbit hole with expert interviews from scientists and authors to those who have firsthand experience with the uncanny. Join us every Wednesday at 10 p.m. right here on KCHW 102.7 Northern Lights Public Radio.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. Getting started on a Tuesday. It's typically a threefer. We think it will be again today, and that means myself, Scott Allen, my beautiful sister, Valerie Hunter, and we expect to be joined any second. Oh, look, he came in at the last minute. Mr. Brandon Hanson. There you go.
Good morning, Brandon.
Yeah, making it in the... Oh, look at that. He's all blurry, too. You can always tell when somebody joins the Zoom feed and it's blurry in the background that, well, their house is dirty.
Exactly. I'm in the spare bedroom, and, you know, it's like if somebody's used the bed in there and it's unmade, then you have to make sure you have a background on, too.
Yeah. Now, you missed last week. You had guests from Australia visiting you, and I've always wanted some overseas friends. How did you make your overseas friends, Val?
Well, this is pretty wild. We were in Vegas one year, and we were just kind of standing at one of these, you know, little outside bars, and they just, I don't know, somehow walked up and started visiting with us, and we just hit it off, and probably visited for an hour, maybe two, and that's the only time we'd met in person. And then they came and spent a whole week with us.
Remember those people we met in Vegas? Maybe we could crash at their house and save a ton on motel rooms.
Well, it was really fun. We pretty much kept in contact really closely on Facebook, so I felt like I knew them. And yeah, and let's say they have enough money, they could have easily got a motel room.
Okay.
But the fact that they spent it with us was super fun. We had a great time. Really good people, so it was fun.
All right. So did you take them to see any of the local sites?
We went to Coeur d'Alene one day and walked the boardwalk and ate at Dockside. We took them on an adventure through Hunters, Washington, and stopped at the Hunters Bar.
Were they scared?
And then we ate at Sporty's and went up to Colville. So we did a little drive like that one day. And then their last day here, we went to Riverfront Park. And so, yeah, we just kind of did some local sites like that.
So now, did they have any like manners that wouldn't be good for like Americans? Or was there anything that like stood out that they did a little differently than us?
I think the only thing is they have no problem swearing.
Oh.
So what some of the words that we would probably cringe at here in the United States, it just, flows off their tongue. Like, they say it quite a bit. So that would be the only thing I think, but otherwise, no. It's just, some of their sayings, it's kind of, you have to stop a minute and think what they're saying, what they mean, because they have different meanings here in the United States. So
did anybody say crikey?
No crikey.
Oh,
no crikey.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
no.
All right.
You did get the good day, mate.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right.
And a few other things that just it was fun to listen to them talk and just to hear all about their country and their adventures. They came to the States on March 10th, so they had been just all over the place. They went to Gettysburg, they went to Nashville. I think they went all the way did they go all the way to Florida, Georgia? I don't know. They just been all over. I'm like, you know what? It's pretty bad when they've seen way more of our country than I have.
All right. Did they bring you any gifts from Australia?
Well, he owns a construction company and he is totally redoing a Peterbilt truck that they're going to use to pull a fifth wheel and travel around Australia. So he brought Brad a bunch of hats, Peterbilt hats and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right. Dirty-mouthed Australians visiting Val. Nice. Do you remember when we were kids, Val? And we're not meaning to leave you out, Brandon. You can chime in anytime. Punishment for being late. Remember when we were kids and Mom and Dad's friends from England visited us, and they all had dirty hats. Hats that said
I don't
dirty.
remember the dirty
They all
hats.
had dirty hats, and Mom was just cringing the whole time because English are like that too. They have no problem swearing. It's not a problem. So.
Yeah, they don't even blink about it. So.
And they're a lot looser about it, even on television, where they're more worried about kids seeing violence than hearing a dirty word. So it's kind of cool to be in that kind of situation and see how other people live and what might be culturally sensitive to us that isn't to them.
Yeah, and I just think generally they're just more laid back. It was interesting just to talk about their socialist system, and they, socialized medicine and just all of the things that their country kind of provides for them. But at the same time, the amount of rules they have just blows your mind. Like, absolutely, unless you have requested a special permit to own a gun in Australia, people think you can't own a gun. You can, but you have to present a really good reason why you need to have one. So like when they start traveling in the country, they can petition for a gun to carry for self-protection, okay?
Sure.
But just a normal person walking down the street, she's like, if you have a butter knife on you and they think that you intended to use that as a weapon, you're in big trouble.
Crazy.
She said you can't carry pepper spray. You can't, definitely no guns, no knives, anything like that. They're just really, some of the rules they have, you're like, you got to be kidding me, really? So a lot of rules. Licensing for your car is probably in the $1,000 range. So they are quite heavily taxed, but at the same time, they don't seem to have a problem with it. That's just life, and they know that, especially since they're wealthy, they pay, I think she said 48 cents on the dollar for taxes, but they have no problem with that. They're like, we're fine with that. We know that we're providing for people who can't provide for themselves, and they're just really chill about stuff like that. So Brad was like, how can you do that? And they're like, it's just the way things are, and we're glad we can do that. I was like, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Brandon Hanson, thanks for joining us this morning. Are you live from home or the office?
I am live from home, and frankly, with a 9-month pregnant wife and a almost 2-year-old, getting here 10 minutes late is like 5 minutes early on parent time.
So now, will you be taking a little time off from all your endeavors once the baby arrives?
Yes, I will be. Well, sure, yes, of course. It's not like this is matching up right with the golf course opening up. Yep, yeah, it's not a coincidence at all.
You're going to come up with excuses, fake work excuses of things you have to do so you can golf. I get it.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh, sorry. All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for today real quick. 51 degrees, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers at 50%. Tonight, partly cloudy, down to 30. Might cause some slippery conditions. Wednesday, a little better, mostly sunny, 52 and 32. Thursday, right now, 54 and 33 with partly cloudy skies and a 20% chance of rain. 15% chance for Friday, 53 and 32. And right now, the weekend, Saturday, 59, mostly cloudy, and Sunday, 63, mostly cloudy with a 25% chance of rain. So a slow warm-up, you guys, as you go through the week. Not to rub it in, we got a sunny week finally here in Maine, and the snow is finally melting. Supposed to top out at 70 by Friday, which would probably cause some flooding.
I think we're supposed to be looking better after the last, these few days. But I think most of our snow is gone in the backyard. So just a couple little piles here and there, but it's looking good. Brad actually went out and raked, and it looks nice out there.
All right. The kids for breakfast and lunch. Breakfast today, pancakes, sausage patty, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk. And then for lunchtime, let's see, we got the burritos, bean and cheese, chili, green beans, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, and your choice of milk. Also, they always throw in a little salsa. All right, here we go into the morning openers. Let's see. Brandon, are you ready?
I am always ready.
All right. So here are the top 10 worst thing on Brandon's performance evaluation. We don't know whether this is from TED or perhaps one of the magazines he writes for or the newspaper or maybe possibly even me at the radio station. So Brandon's performance evaluation. Are you ready to share this with folks, Brandon?
I'm so excited. Thanks for letting me reveal this to the world, Scott.
You're welcome, Brandon.
At 7:35 in the morning. This is exactly what I wanted to do today.
Okay.
All right. So am I reading these?
Yes. You're sharing your performance evaluation with us.
All right. So top 10 worst things. Number 10, works well under constant supervision and cornered like a rat in a trap. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Number 9. Since my last report, this employee has reached rock bottom and has started to dig. Number 8. When he opens his mouth, it seems like that this is only to change whichever foot was previously in there.
Quiet! I can't hear myself lie!
Go on.
Number 7, he would be out of his depth in a parking lot puddle.
Oh, ow.
I'm going to save that one, though. That could fit so many situations.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and remember that.
Number 6, this man has delusions of adequacy. Number 5, he sets low personal standards and then constantly fails to achieve them. Number 4, this employee should go far, and the sooner he starts, the better.
Look, he left. Everybody, lock the door.
Number 3, this employee is depriving a village somewhere of an idiot.
Oh, man.
Number 2, his men would follow him anywhere, but only out of morbid curiosity.
Ouch.
And number 1, I would not allow this employee to breed.
Too late. There's a second one coming too. All right. All right. So was that was that a conglomeration of your evaluations, or did that come from one source that wasn't me?
Well, that was just Morgan. She wrote all of them.
Wow, Morgan. Wow. All right, and Val's opener today, it's flight attendant announcements, and Val, I want you to say them like a real flight attendant.
Of course I will.
All right.
All right. Upon landing once, I said, please be sure to take your belongings. If you're going to leave anything, please make sure it's something we'd like to have. I feel like I should do some of these in a Southern accent since our adopted sister was a flight attendant.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, all right. But I don't know if I can do it. It'll come naturally. If I'm going to try it, it's not going to work.
Okay.
Please take care when opening the overhead compartments because after a landing like that, sure as heck, everything has shifted. Oh, in the event of a sudden loss of cabin pressure, masks will descend from the ceilings. Stop screaming, grab the mask, and pull it to your face. If you have a small child traveling with you, secure your mask before assisting with theirs. If you are traveling with more than one child, pick your favorite.
That's creepy.
This is coming from our pilot. Weather at our destination is 50 degrees with some broken clouds, but we'll try to have them fixed before we arrive. Thank you, and remember, nobody loves you or your money more than we do.
Thank you for flying United.
Your seat cushions can be used as a flotation device, and in the event of an emergency landing, please paddle to shore and take them with you as our compliments.
This is from when I almost died on the airplane.
Mm-hmm. And finally, that was quite a bump. And I know y'all are thinking, I'm here to tell you it wasn't the airline's fault. It wasn't the pilot's fault. It wasn't the flight attendant's fault. It was the asphalt.
There you go.
Comedy is dead.
Comedy is dead. All right.
We just killed it.
All right.
Wow.
For your Tuesday morning, I have life's insults. So some insults. Some of these, it's just an insult about life. And some of these you could use on a colleague, much like what happened to Brandon. First quote is, my life is just a series of awkward and humiliating moments separated by snacks.
Yes.
There's a way of transferring funds that's even faster than electronic banking. It's called marriage.
Oh.
Ouch. I'm starting to think that my purpose in life is to serve as a cautionary tale to others.
That definitely fits you.
I know. So does this one. I'm actually not funny. I'm just mean, and people think I'm joking.
Just say it, say it, and then just say, just kidding.
Just kidding. It wasn't me. There's someone for everyone, and that person for you, Val, is a psychiatrist.
I tell my kids all the time I just want to raise them so they make enough money to pay for their therapy.
Because you're tired of it. Right. I like sleeping because it's a lot like being dead without the commitment.
Yes.
All right, Brandon, if someone asks, are you crazy? Simply reply, yes. Boom. End of discussion.
Mic drop.
This one's for Val. Patience. what you have when there are too many witnesses. Patience. All right. I'm sorry, I don't take orders. I barely take suggestions. All right. We all know someone who speaks fluent crap. Brandon. This is another one for Brandon. I love deadlines, especially the whooshing sound they make when they fly by.
Fits his evaluation quite well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Val, they say ignorance is bliss, but I find yours rather disturbing. Being an adult is looking both ways before you cross the street and then getting hit by an airplane. All right. This is what I like to say to people who think I'm fat and lazy. It might look like I'm doing nothing, but at the cellular level, I'm quite busy.
Those involuntary systems there.
Yes. I wish more people were fluent in silence.
Who's saying that to you?
I'm working on a new CD just to see if it sells. It's called 60 Minutes of Silence.
Oh.
The louder you turn it up, the quieter it gets.
If you can get rid of the hum.
If you can get rid of the hum. All right. This is for Brandon, since he's a newspaper guy. I found your nose. It was in my business. Life is full of disappointments, and Val, I just added you to the list.
Oh, I've tried so hard.
I'm not a hot mess. I'm a spicy disaster. That's what Val tells people. Right. Oh, and I like this one. This wraps it up. Oh, you hate your job? Why didn't you say so? There's a support group for that. It's called Everybody, and they meet at the bar tonight. So keep your grumbling to your... It is. You save that for your grumbly people.
I'm going to get a couple people off of Facebook here that have joined us this morning. That would be Marion and Ken are both listening. Marion said that I had quite the sultry voice when I was doing the flight attendants. Oh. And Ken is rubbing it in to everybody else because he's cooking prime rib for me tonight.
Yes, and those side dishes, usually called gummies. Oops. Oops.
That's dessert.
All right, I found this morning. This is kind of fun. It goes along in the humor department, and they're posts about different states. I don't know quite how to describe it. It says people are reviewing the most common stereotypes for every U.S. state, and they've held nothing back. As a first example, Alabama. Bible thumping rednecks, and then somebody else posted, college football has overtaken these poor souls' lives. There you go, Alabama. For Alaska, it's made up of wild frontiersmen. Not too good, but it gets better. Arkansas, small town folks who basically live in Walmart.
It'd be interesting to see a Walmart there, wouldn't it? might make Colville's look mild and tame.
Yes. This is going on their license plate. Arkansas, no money and no endearing qualities. Arizona, retired California baby boomers. It says one of two states with a reputation of being a giant senior center. Arizona. And then the next choice was Arizona, a monument to man's arrogance. California, weed smokers, surfers, movie stars, tech brothers, and valley girls. Somebody else posted pretentious and fake people. California. All right.
The cost of plastic surgery there, I'm sure it supports the whole state.
For Colorado, it's mountain Californians with somehow even more weed. Connecticut, elitist yuppies. Delaware, where all the corporations and Joe Biden live. Delaware. This is good. Florida, retired East Coasters with a special blend of chaos. Or theme parks, meth addicts, rednecks, Cubans, and copious amounts of alligators.
All together in one.
Oh, by the way, it's the other senior state. Georgia, Southern Belles and Rappers. And where all soda is called Coke. Hawaii, surfers with lays. Or the most expensive state in the union. You guys will like this. Idaho. Potatoes. Oh. Potatoes, unless you've watched Napoleon Dynamite, in which case you probably just think of Napoleon Dynamite instead. Or, which is the one I voted for, potato growing country bumpkins. Illinois, one of the most average states.
How would you like to be known as that? Just average.
Yeah. Indiana, worse than Illinois. Oh, and corn. Iowa, our food is grown here, I guess. And then somebody else put...
Nobody really knows?
Yeah, corn and presidential candidates. Iowa.
Oh, boy. Iowa. Have you been to Iowa?
No, I passed right over it.
Just really never grabbed your attention at all?
No. It's right up there on my list of places to visit with Nebraska. And hell. We're going to hell this weekend. I mean, Ohio. All right, Kansas, more corn. Kentucky, horse riders and rednecks. Let's see. Louisiana, drive-through daiquiris.
Ooh.
In Maine, it's flannel-wearing lobster fishermen.
Does that fit, Scott?
No, not me anyways.
Well, I just meant for the state in general.
Yes. Maryland, politicians and gangsters, I guess. Massachusetts, they all go to Irish pubs to catch a game and eat clam chowder.
This is true.
All right. Michigan, apocalyptic wasteland.
Wow.
Michigan's nice.
Minnesota, overly kind people with funny accents. Overly kind.
Overly.
Yeah. It also says basically Canadians with lots of lakes.
There's a country western song that calls all those, kind of Midwestern states, it calls them flyover states.
Yep.
People just fly over them.
Oh, Mississippi's is bad. It says poor and racist.
Oh.
You can say thank God for Mississippi because it's worse. Missouri, trailer parks. Not as flat as boring as Kansas, but still nothing to do.
Aren't those called tornado magnets?
Yes. Montana, mostly grizzly bears.
Yes, I can attest. It's mostly grizzly bears.
Nebraska, 4 letters. C-O-R-N. Whoop, whoop. Nevada, strippers and slot machines in the middle of the desert.
I thought you were going to say in the middle of the day.
New Hampshire, libertarians. Isn't that enough? New Hampshire is, New Jersey, sunburnt mobsters and political corruption. Also, more Guidos than any other city. New Mexico, nothing bad about that. Turquoise and green chili.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't seem like much of an insult.
Yeah. New York, though, gangsters and Wall Street execs who are rude, impatient, and think they're the center of the universe. Let's see. North Carolina, overly gracious, but kind of stupid Southern folk.
Mwah.
Wah, wah. All right. North Dakota, Val. Just see if you got a better one.
The only state the mosquitoes don't freeze in.
They just get bigger.
Uh-huh.
All right. All right. There was 2 for North Dakota. The first one just says empty. And the second one.
Echo.
Second one, it sounds like Minnesota. Ohio, pretty average. See Illinois. Oregon, hipsters and socialists. Oklahoma, wannabe Southerners. Pennsylvania, pretty average, but they do have Amish people. Rhode Island, the forgotten yuppies.
Forgotten yuppies.
Yeah. Here's South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida's inbred child. Oh.
They have nice golf there.
South Dakota, Mount Rushmore's here. That's it.
It's still prettier than North Dakota.
Tennessee, just 2 words. Dolly Parton.
Just 2 things. Dolly Parton.
Exactly. Texas, gun-wielding pastors and cowboys who love their state a little too much.
Oh.
This could possibly be the best. Utah, Mormons, lots and lots of Mormons. Vermont, where Bernie Sanders lives, and we get our maple syrup. All right, we're almost done. Virginia, basically the beginning of the South. Where they have ham and peanuts. Virginia. Washington, Oregon's slightly saner brother.
That's relative.
And wrapping it up, West Virginia, hillbillies and miners. Wisconsin, cheese and beer. And it also says Wisconsin is very drunk.
Because of the cheese and beer.
Yeah, their drinking culture is pretty out of control. And the last one, Wyoming, Cowboys, Yellowstone National Park, but actually, nobody lives there. Huh. A little something for Wyoming. All right, there you go.
You've never been too impressed with Wyoming, have you?
Oh, no. Wyoming it's literally something out of Mad Max. And when you say that, people go, but they have trees and stuff. Yeah, it's just like the top 1/3 of an inch across the top of the state. The rest of it's a barren wasteland. So
kind of like the whole middle of Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to a few new headlines this morning. Firefighters this is a reminder, basically, got creative when someone illegally parked in front of a water hydrant in Massachusetts. And the picture shows the car with both front windows busted out and the hose going through the car.
Oh, my.
Good
Hold
luck.
on, guys. I got to go move my car.
So a little friendly reminder there from KCHW.
It's the consequences, right?
Yep. I'm going to see if Brandon saw this because I think it's probably on his list. Super Mario Brothers this weekend. Box office.
It's me.
Did you see it?
Mario.
Did you see it? It's a me.
What?
Did you see Mario Brothers this weekend?
No, I did not. I watched the Masters all weekend.
I guess it had a bigger opening weekend than Avatar. 204 million in its 5-day domestic debut from the 5th through the 9th of April, including 146 million for the 3-day weekend. Overseas, 171 million for a total of 375 million. Best showing of the year to date on all fronts for movies, as of course the movie industry tries to recover from COVID. It is looking like it's going to be set to be the highest grossing animated film ever. It's already passed Walt Disney's Frozen 2, which made $358 million in 2019. So pretty crazy. Everybody's saying it was really, really funny. So,
well, I hope you guys are ready for the death of superhero movies, and now everything will be a video game movie.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Have you seen how Marvel movies are like not making money anymore?
No, I think they burned us out. They've really burned us out.
Now that
I don't know. I'm super looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy, though, coming out. I think it's May 5th, the Chapter 3 or Volume 3 or whatever they call it. I'm jazzed about that one.
Ooh, is that James Gunn? Is he the director?
I don't know who the director is, I guess.
So why are they failing, Brandon?
Well, for a person that doesn't make movies, let me tell you what I think.
Okay.
It's hard to follow. Like, have you ever watched a Marvel movie or talked to somebody who watches them? They tell you you have to watch like 10 movies in advance to understand what's going on. So that just basically makes me not want to watch it.
They keep getting consistently more boring because I think they've ran out of ideas. So,
well, once you do Thanos, I don't know how you go up from there.
You really can't. You should just stop. All right, on to New Delhi, where I'm going to creep you out. Dalai Lama has apologized after a video emerged showing the spiritual leader kissing a child full on the lips and then asking him to suck my tongue.
Oh,
yeah.
Lovely.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. In a statement Monday, the Office for the Dalai Lama said he wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused, adding he regretted the incident. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras, according to the statement. His apology came after a video of the exchange, which took place at the event in the hillside city in February, went viral on social media, with many users criticizing Dalai Lama's action. In the video, the young boy can be seen approaching the Dalai Lama, asking if he can hug him. The 87-year-old spiritual leader then invites the boy on stage and points to his cheek and says, "First here," prompting the boy to give him a hug and a kiss. Then the Dalai Lama points to his lips and says, "Then I think finally here also." He then pulls the boy's chin and kisses him on the mouth. After a few seconds of that, he pokes his tongue out and says, "Suck my tongue." This is I've tried this over and over with ladies, and it doesn't work.
And you wonder why you have the reputation of being creepy.
Yes. All right.
So, did Chris Hansen pop out of somewhere? Say, "You're on TV, Dolly."
Oh. All right. According to some India traditions, one's tongue out is a sign of respect and agreement, and was often used as a greeting in traditional Tibetan culture. All right. That's according to the Institute of East Asian Studies. So it used to be a greeting. Yeah. So to both of you, I say, especially you, Brandon. All right. Sorry.
What the heck?
More fun? Prosecutors have accused a 78-year-old woman of robbing a Missouri bank. And then she says she slipped the bank teller a note mid-heist that included an apology for scaring her. Prosecutors allege that Bonnie Gooch, you've heard of the Gooch, who already has 2 bank robbery convictions, tried to escape with cash from the Gopert Financial Bank in Pleasant Hill. All right. Gooch approached a bank counter on April 5th, slipped the cashier a note that read in part, "I need $13,000 in small bills," and then slipped her a second one that said, "Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you."
Did she write that one like mid-heist?
I guess. She had it ready, it sounds like, from the story.
Oh, okay. All right.
Prosecutors also allege that the Gooch banged on the counter to hurry the teller up, telling him not to count the money, just give it to me.
She was specific in the amount she wanted, though, so,
Gooch then escaped in her own black SUV with a handicapped registration number. Police stopped her in the parking lot. They found the cash strewn on the floorboard of the car, noted that the vehicle smelled strongly of alcohol. Pleasant Hill Police Chief Tommy Wright told the Kansas City Star that the case was unusual and sad. When officers first approached her, they were kind of confused. He said, "It's a little old lady who steps out. We weren't sure initially that we had the right person." That's scary. All right, I hope she gets some help. Sounds like she needs help.
I would just say, I don't mind you scaring me, but you could compensate me quite well for that.
Right.
For any emotional damage you caused.
Just like Disney did a backflip on DeSantis, if you guys have been keeping up with the Representative Justin Jones from Tennessee, one of the 2 black men that got booted out of the House Assembly.
Right.
All right. So last night, what happened in this when they kick these representatives out? It goes back to their district to nominate a temporary representative for their district, and a unanimous decision to re-nominate Justin Jones. So they kicked him out. Goes back to the county commissioners. The county commissioners put him right back in. So he's back in the House today. I love it.
And the other Mr. Jones, I think they figure will be reinstated today
As well.
Yeah, because weren't they both Jones? I think there
no.
was Preston.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Preston Jones? And then
yes.
And then yeah.
All right. I got confused on that too. Too many J's in there. All right. Let's see. Moving along. School district in Massachusetts will host its first ever public meeting Monday since the superintendent candidate lost his job offer for addressing the female colleagues who was interviewing them as ladies.
Oh.
One of the ladies said it was microaggression.
You know.
Brandon's nodding his head. It is. So now we can't even call ladies ladies. What they said, it was inappropriate in a response letter to their job offer to say ladies. Hello, ladies.
You know, I don't know. I think that's getting just a little bit, I don't know. It's we're looking at stuff that's getting, having to be too politically correct. If there was a group of me and my friends around and, Brad came in and said, hey, ladies, you ready for another drink? I'd be like, of course we are.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that as an insult.
Yeah, but you're easy. Sorry. It's a joke. Just a joke. All right. Let's see. Chat GPT. Brandon, have you tried this? You're techie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've tried it.
What did you think of your first experience with AI?
It's going to help a lot of industries just kind of cut down on time writing stuff, basically.
Val, have you played with any of the AI robots? You're techie too.
Yeah, I just haven't. I've thought about it just, for curiosity, maybe a few laps. I don't know, but no, I have not.
So I did it, and I started, I got into it, asked a few simple questions, and then I started asking weird questions, and it actually gave me a wrong answer, and I told it was wrong, and then it became angry with me, started being rude, and I said, well, you're not a real person anyways. And then it got even ruder. It was pretty crazy, I angered
Really?
it. Yes.
So now we know we can't let the robots take over because at some point they're going to get mad at us.
That's right. I mean, they already are. They already are.
Yeah.
There's been several instances of things going south with AI chats. Let's see. They're saying that there's 10 important areas of jobs in our country that are totally going to be done away with due to AI in the next 10 years, that a robot will do it better. All tech jobs. Coders, computer programmers, software engineers, and data analysts. The people that probably helped create AI, you're all going to lose your jobs to a robot.
Right. And again, it's a perfect opportunity for them to take over when they're writing their own programming.
See?
See?
Media jobs, advertising, content creation, technical writing, journalism. Brandon?
Oh, thank goodness, I can finally retire.
Without pay. All right.
That's all right.
Legal industry jobs such as paralegals and legal assistants. That computer's going to pull up the laws a lot faster than your assistant can. Let's see. Market research analysts. Teachers. Scary.
Yeah, that's interesting that they're going for teachers because I think a lot of people use them as their babysitters.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how that's going to work.
Well, when I was in grade school, I thought all my teachers were wrinkly robots anyways. Sorry. Just a joke.
Oh, God.
Just a joke. Well, I was so young. All right.
You won't get away with plagiarizing a thing, though.
Oh,
if you have an AI for your teacher, will ya?
nope. I'm going to look that right up. Finance jobs such as analyst and personal financial advisors, they say a robot could do a better job. Stock and online traders could be out of jobs. Graphic designers, no longer necessary. Accountants, no longer necessary. Customer service agents, no longer necessary. Get the picture?
Yeah. Nobody has to work.
Nobody has to work.
Again, the robots are going to think we're no longer necessary.
We are no longer necessary.
I'm going to sell lemonade on the street corner here and just be fine.
To robots.
Oh, Ken says radio hosts are going to be out too.
Oh, Ken. Ken. Wow.
Scott AI. I can't wait till Scott becomes an AI. That's going to be fun.
Hey.
This Scott AI is mad at me again.
I'll sell everything you own. All right. I was wondering if this was going to happen, and it did. Mother, that 6-year-old boy who allegedly, it's pretty obvious, shot that teacher at Newport News, Virginia Elementary School, now facing charges, of prosecutors announced yesterday. Grand jury returned 2 indictments charging Deja Taylor with felony child neglect, misdemeanor, recklessly leaving a loaded firearm, and endangering a child. All right, if you're not familiar with that story, 6-year-old son allegedly took a handgun from his home on January 6th, put it in his backpack, brought it to school, and wounded a 25-year-old teacher in the classroom. She suffered critical injuries, but is expected to make a full recovery and has started a lawsuit of her own based on information they were sharing that said the school was well aware that the boy actually had a gun in his backpack and didn't do something about it immediately. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Lovely.
All right, let's wrap up the news with some Trump stuff. And mainly, one question for Trump supporters. This would be good. I'm curious what you guys got to say about it. I want to know why, because I feel like they're in denial. Not everything that's out there against Trump could be fake, which most of his hardcore supporters believe, oh, it's all fake news. No, it's really not. And if you look at it with an open mind, it would change things. And like one of the most glaring things is one of the headlines to me today: Trump launches long shot appeal of order for Pence, same thing, Pence to testify before the January 6th grand jury. Now, if you go back and look through legal records, news stories, you will find that this is about the 30th time since Trump got in trouble that he's tried to get someone who is going to testify against him blocked. Why would you be afraid of what people are going to say? I mean, even Pence, because Pence, even though, basically Trump told his people to go get him on January 6th and hang him, he has never had anything bad to say about Trump. So why would he even be scared of what Pence said? So that's the question I ask, is why would you be afraid of what people are going to say if you didn't do anything wrong? It seems glaring to me.
And I was going to say the same thing about Pence. I mean, he's pretty, he's still defending him about the lawsuits against, defending Trump against the lawsuits that are coming up. He's defending him about, the Mar-a-Lago confidential records. I mean, all of that stuff, Pence is still supporting him. And so, I mean, if the guy had tried to have me killed, I don't think I'd still be singing his praises.
It makes no sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. But it's interesting because you've heard a lot about how they're predicting that all of the lawsuits and everything are actually going to build up his polling and things like that. But Brad was looking at something this morning. It's not having that effect. His approval went down from, I'm guessing this is nationwide, 29% down to 25% in just the last few weeks. So I don't think you're always going to have the diehard supporters that are going to stand by him no matter what, come up with a million excuses for everything he's done. Most of it, everybody's out to get Trump. But I think that the people that aren't diehard supporters are starting to maybe question, that this all can't just be an attempt to,
Yeah. Well, even if
discredit the man or whatever.
even if they say half of everything is true, he's still got a lot of problems. All right, but
Got 99 problems, but we ain't run.
But to flip that now, former President Donald Trump's team has launched a fresh attack on Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and this is brilliant. All right, they're accusing him of taxpayer-funded globetrotting, which happens to be illegal in Florida. Email from the Trump campaign on Monday accused DeSantis of not formally declaring a 2024 run and using his salary as governor to fund unofficial campaign travels. This is what it says. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is currently on a month-long taxpayer-funded presidential campaign schedule, and it sure looks like it because he's hitting all the hot spots in all the places like Iowa that have the first voting. And he says this schedule he's on is being paid by Florida taxpayers. New questions are emerging as to whether this will force DeSantis to resign from office. Under Florida's Resign to Run law, candidates running for other offices must resign from their current post at least 10 days before running for the new position they desire. So they found kind of a loophole in Florida law that they're trying to push him on to get him to announce his candidacy and remove himself from being governor of Florida.
Yes. Although, I don't know. I think the last presidential election, Inslee was going to run, stated his candidacy and all of that. And that's what Brad and I kind of talked about at that time. So as we as Washington state taxpayers funding, his whole bid for election, as far as, him still working as governor and doing all of that at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All
But
right.
I suppose it's not illegal in Washington state, but it still does kind of make you question, especially his priorities.
I understand going out there, though, and seeing if there, and that's, I'm sure, what he's doing, seeing if there's enough support for him to give up his job for governor and run for president. And he's got to really be kind of sitting back and watching what's happening to Trump and whether he'll go on or go away. All right.
Good job, boomers. Great job. Real bang up world you've left us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
It is just interesting, though. Everything that's going on as far as the whole conflict. I'm sorry, I'm starting to break up. The whole conflict with Disney and all of that. You're kind of cutting off your nose to spite your face. You've got a huge taxpaying entity in your state, and you're going to pick a fight with them.
Yes.
It's all of that stuff doesn't quite make sense to me.
I love how they did how Disney blocked his move, though, with a fast one. I won't get into this, but Disney has totally blocked the law that he passed, and he's really upset. All right. The last one is thing I'll say about news headlines is all the stuff that's going on, the inner turmoil in our country and the division in politics and the division in Americans, right down to abortion rights. It's really distracting our country from what is going on across the world, and mainly with China. I used to say that I thought it was crazy that China will never really mess with us because they make everything for us. But over the past couple months, if you're watching the news headlines, China is courting every American ally. And some of them, like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, have already been turning tails and joining with trade agreements with China. And if America doesn't wake up, we're going to be left the odd man out and be all by ourselves. I mean, I think we need to stop worrying about presidential candidates and pay attention to what's going on to the global scene, because things are really changing. And now with this leaked documents of intelligence documents, it shows that even like South Korea is all upset because we were spying on our friends. And America's, it feels like when you watch the news that we're sinking fast, but all anybody wants to know is the new 12 stories about former President Trump. So.
And it's interesting, though, to, having these Australian friends, how much they actually pay more attention to the politics in the U.S. than they do their own.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, it is entertainment. But, they said, we're kind of happy the way our government does stuff. So, it's just, it runs and you don't pay any attention to it. But then they start talking about, the crazy stuff going on here from, what looks like, gay rights, LGBTQ rights, the abortion issues, all of that. And they just go, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah, we need to stop focusing on these little things and focus on the big things like the future for our children, which everybody seems to have forgotten about. And let's leave the news alone and get into the fun stuff before we go to the break. And we got a lot of it today.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
All right, we'll pit Brandon against Val.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Yes. All right, first trivia question for you two. A survey by a car wash chain says the average person thoroughly cleans this about every 2 years. What is it?
Just the inside of their car?
I got to go further than that.
Okay.
Between the seats.
No, but that's a good guess, Brandon.
Well, let's see. Probably nobody knows this, but the cabin filter.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one. But, I bought a car that was 10 years old and no one had ever cleaned that. So.
The glove box.
There you go, Val. Glove box. 1 in 4 of you will do this at least 3 times this week. 3 times this week. It happens generally in the living room.
Sigh heavily. Take a nap on the couch.
There you go. Fall asleep in front of the TV. I'll take nap on the couch.
All right. Good job.
That's like every day.
Truth or fiction? All right. Combat leaves soldiers drunk with fatigue. Truth or fiction? Combat leaves soldiers drunk with fatigue.
I'm going to say truth.
Yeah, true.
The stress of combat and lack of sleep affects soldiers so badly that after a week they perform worse than if they were drunk or sedated, according to the U.S. Army. Another one. New strain of supergrass can even grow on concrete. Truth or fiction?
True.
True.
You guys,
it already grows on concrete.
You guys are so easy to fool. It's false. Sorry.
Oh.
Truth or fiction, dinner conversations between married couples dropped to a record low 11 minutes.
True.
True, Brandon?
True.
It is true. In the beginning of a marriage, it lasts an average of 40 minutes. For long-standing marriages, the time is 11 minutes because you know everything about each other.
I figured it was because they were both on their phone.
Texting each other. Which one doesn't fit? And Val, this is going to be just for you because Brandon will get it right away. Which one of these terms does not fit? Bank shot, combination, bogey, scratch, break.
One more time.
Bank shot, combination, bogey, scratch, break.
Scratch.
And do you know why it wouldn't fit?
Because the other ones are basketball terms.
Oh, you think so? Brandon, would you say
That's
she's
what I'm
right?
going with.
It wasn't scratch.
Oh, and I guess I was wrong.
It was bogey. Can you tell us why bogey doesn't fit? Bank shop, combination, scratch, break. Brandon? Hello? Brandon.
You want me to phone?
I want you to tell me why it doesn't fit.
I would say the other is from bogey's the only one that stands out. That's a golf term.
Yeah.
Whatever else is not.
From a different sport?
Yeah.
Like basketball. No? Is there a scratch term in basketball? I don't think so.
I think there's a scratch term in basketball. So, but it was basketball that we were talking about. I should have got the bogey though, but
All right.
yeah.
All right. We're going to have to refer to the internet for help.
Oh no! We suck again!
Yes, we do.
Yes.
All right. Got a couple more here. At the start of a marriage. Oh, that's the one I just did. Sorry. Actually, I think they asked the same question 2 days in a row, which doesn't help me at all. All right, in 1894, there were only 4 of these in the U.S. In 1894, only 4 of these had been produced in the U.S. so far. What were they?
Cars.
Cars,
That's
exactly right. Good job. Brandon finally got one.
I was like, that just seems too easy of an answer, but yeah.
Yep. 6 in 10 people who consume this product say they become upset if they don't have it at the regular time. What is it?
Coffee.
Coffee, Val.
There's my coffee.
All right.
See, Scott, you start me so early in the morning. I don't have my coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not really. Each said that's your own problem for not getting up earlier, Brandon.
Well, I got up early. I had to do things.
All right. Each set of 3 things I'm going to give you guys has something in common. Tell me what it is, and you win. A Rear Window, Psycho, The Birds.
That's. Oh, I say what it is.
Yeah.
'Cause I know it.
What's in common?
Alfred Hitchcock.
All right. Good job. Did you know that one, Val?
I did not.
All right. Police officers, theme parks, and concerts. What might they all?
Police officers, theme parks, and concerts.
What might they all? Go ahead.
You all go for a ride in the back of the police car?
No. They all have something in common, which is made out of paper.
Tickets?
There you go. I like how she said it all uncertain. Oh, God.
You can do it!
Cupid, Vixen, Blitzen. Cupid, Vixen, Blitzen.
They're reindeer.
They are reindeer. All right.
That's not hard, Scott.
I'm sorry. I made it too easy. All right, we head off to break. It is KCHW Chewila. Be gone about 5 minutes and be right back with today's birthdays, odd news, and more if you stay right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Hey! Shut up!
One more.
Shut up, Wesley.
Poor Wesley.
Enter
Poor
the sacred
Wesley.
and awesome presence of the everlasting know-it-all.
Scott.
It's 8:24.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chewila Flooring.
Chewila Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewila Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewilaFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewilaFlooring@gmail.com.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewila. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chewila, 102.7 FM.
Welcome to 2023 Talks, where we're following our democracy in historic times.
The thing is, the president cannot do it alone. There is a legislative process that needs to happen, and Congress needs to act.
Following a shooting Monday at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky that left 5 dead and more injured, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said President Biden is calling on Republicans and Democrats to take action. During an emotional news conference, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said he lost close friends in the shooting, but didn't comment on gun legislation.
We've got to do what we have done these last 3 years after everything. We've got to wrap our arms around these families. And everybody who needs it, don't be afraid to get some help.
The Nashville Metropolitan Council voted to reinstate Democratic Representative Justin Jones on Monday after he was expelled last week for participating in a gun violence protest. Jones then rejoined protesters and marched back to the state capitol in support of gun reform following the mass shooting at a private Christian school in Nashville that left 6 dead last month. Access to mifepristone, a common abortion medication, is in jeopardy as a pair of federal court decisions leaves the drug's future in question. A judge in Texas has invalidated the FDA's approval of the drug, and an order from a Washington judge aims to limit the Texas injunction's reach. Massachusetts Representative Ayanna Pressley has called on the president to declare a public health and national emergency in response to the ruling, which she says will disproportionately impact Black women.
As a Black woman, knowing full well the Black maternal morbidity crisis that 1 in 4 Black women die in childbirth or post-birthing complications, this is a matter of life and death.
The CDC says Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women. President Biden said the Texas ruling sets a dangerous precedent for other FDA-approved drugs. President Biden signed a resolution to stop the national public health emergency brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. The action will wind down a number of waivers for federal health programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and CHIP. The Senate Judiciary Committee's Democratic majority is calling for an investigation of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas after a ProPublica report showed Thomas failed to disclose luxury vacations funded by billionaire Republican donor Harlan Crow for 2 decades. During a CNN interview, New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called for Thomas to be impeached.
My hope would be that we do not get to that point. But if we do, I do believe that we must start to push back on our system of checks and balances, which is designed to push back on should there be an example of judicial tyranny and judicial overreach.
I'm Alex Gonzalez for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our 8 Trust indicators to support transparency and accuracy at publicnewsservice.org.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7, your morning show on a Tuesday with Brandon Hanson, Valerie Hunter, and myself, Scott Allen. There you go. Thanks for coming back, you guys. We'll kick this segment off with local birthdays, and that includes Greg Rutherford and Don Buke having birthdays today. Round of applause for both of them. See them around town, point and laugh, tell them we were talking about them on the radio. It's that easy. Get all of our birthdays from the Lions Club birthday calendar, and their next run for the birthday calendar will be coming up in October. You can always visit our website for more details on the Lions Club by going to kchw.org and clicking on supporters. There you'll find a link to the Lions Club calendar and their home website. All right, Val, how about some celebrity birthdays this morning?
Sure. Louise Lasser was in Mary Hartman is 84 today. British TV personality Jeremy Clarkson is 63. Jennifer Esposito Aquafina. Aquafina is Nora Jones from Queens.
Okay.
Huh? And NCIS. I don't know. I'm like, that is weird. Anyway, 50 years old today. Model and actress Alessandra Ambrosio from Daddy's Home Films is 42, and Kelly Garner from Taking Woodstock and Lars and the Real Girl is 39. Some of these I've never even heard of.
All of them.
Maybe that's why I'm struggling. Josh Stone is 36.
All right, I always thought it was Josh, not Joss, okay. but it says Joss. All right.
Yeah.
All right, help us out, Brandon. It happened today. We like to call it history, and we'll start off in 1865.
All right. In 1865, Abraham Lincoln made his last speech. In 1868, U.S. Army Commander Ulysses S. Grant was stopped for speeding in his horse-drawn buggy. 3 months later, he was stopped again and fined $5.
That's probably huge at the time.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was the whole, national budget back then. In 1882, U.S. Patent 256265 was issued for the block clock. It was an alarm clock mounted over the bed that, at a set time, dropped 24 small wood blocks on the sleeper.
The block clock.
Oh.
Okay.
I wonder why that didn't take off.
Yeah, I know. Funny, huh? In 1970, Apollo 13 launched.
All right.
In 1981, 12 days after he was wounded in an assassination attempt, Ronald Reagan returned to the White House. In 2003, thieves broke into a safe and stole over $1,000 from a prison. Spokesman for Spring Hill Prison near Aylesbury, England, said the crime took place in the prison's reception area.
That's awesome.
Where were they going to spend the money?
Commissary on smokes.
And then in 2009, big controversy at the White House when Chicago-born President Barack Obama had 140 people over to the executive mansion night for some deep dish pizza. But it was St. Louis deep dish pizza. Mark Malnati, owner of 30 Lou Malnati's pizzerias in the Chicago area, said he liked Obama's economic policy, but thought the president's pizza policy should change.
Such controversy. How will he ever recover from that?
Yeah, that sounds awful. In 2015, President Barack Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro met at the Summit of the Americas in Panama for talks aimed at thawing relations. The historic meeting marked the first interaction in decades between top leaders of the two nations. In 2020, Farm Aid was held virtually. Farm Aid at home included Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, Neil Young, Dave Matthews, Black Pumas, Ronnie Raitt, Boz Scaggs. I'm going to stop reading these names because I don't know any of these people.
Really?
No, Chris Stapleton?
Yeah,
no, Jack Johnson?
No.
Randy Carlisle?
No, sorry.
What do you listen to?
Edie Brickell? And her one song?
I'm going to just go turn on some Florida Georgia Line. You guys can just not make fun of me. And that's all I got.
All right. Special events for today. It's Barbershop Quartet Day. Are you guys ready for our song?
Oh, ready.
Oh, boy.
That's all I got.
Were they one of the ones that played at the Farm Aid?
Yes. And their hit song? Oh, yeah, everybody knows it. You can sing along. All right, it's also Be Kind to Lawyers Day, which means you should just bump them with your door, not the whole bumper.
That's funny, Scott.
Sorry. Cheese Fondue Day. What? What? Oh, 8-track tape day. Remember the Shimoleskis, Val?
Oh, the polka that we got to listen to on the 8-track tapes.
Every time the kids were drug into the RV for a trip, we had to listen to German polka music on the 8-track.
Yes.
Your favorite part of the songs were when they went silent as it switched to the next track.
And this is why we started drinking early.
Mm-hmm. Today is also known as Library Workers Day.
Yay.
That's the only thing you have to do to pass the job interview. You have to do it really well. I'm sorry, it was just a joke. It's not true. National Pet Day, Submarine Day, and World's Parkinson's Disease Day. And Val, number of the day. Wow.
This is sad. This is really sad. 132, which is the number of mass shootings just in 2023 here in the U.S. So far.
Wow.
In 4 months. Oh, my gosh.
That's scary.
It's horrible.
All right. Moving on this morning, we're going to head for bits and breaks, you kids. We got a few of them to do this morning. First one is the misfortune cookie. This fortune came with my Chinese meal last night, and I thought it'd be perfect for the radio. Your future is cloudy with a chance of procrastination. Grab an umbrella. It's raining excuses.
I love it.
I'm going to use that one. It's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome. It's raining excuses. Brandon, why were you late today, Brandon?
Things.
Things.
See?
Life.
All right. How about a quick joke, Val?
All right. The parents of a difficult boy were discussing what to give him for his birthday present. The mother said, let's buy him a bicycle. Well, said the father, maybe, but do you think it will improve his behavior? Mom says, probably not, but it will spread it over a wider area.
Maybe we won't hear about it. All right, Brandon Hanson. Oh, he's come up with 4 things we didn't know yesterday.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
I'm pretty smart, so.
Mostly.
Yeah, 4 things, Scott and Val, pay attention. Los Angeles County has a larger population than 40 states.
Wow.
Impressive, yes.
Yeah, it is.
In 2008, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recalled over 20,000 fake hillbilly teeth because the gray surface paint on the teeth contained excessive levels of lead. That sounds delightful.
Oh.
And then watching a 90-minute horror movie can burn between 100 and 185 calories because you're so scared.
Wow.
Yeah.
My new exercise plan.
It's more if you're one of those jumpy people.
Oh, boy. And the last amazing thing, the Milky Way galaxy is about 100,000 light years across.
100,000.
Yeah, a long ways.
All right. Hey, guys, bonus for today. I've got what Scott thinks about in the shower.
Oh, goodness. Yay.
Let them eat static.
Yeah, let's see. First, to not expose his identity, Batman's either driving the Batmobile uninsured or committing insurance fraud. The machinery of my body is exceptionally quiet for all its capabilities.
It's not so quiet.
Oh. I always remember that my dirty dishes are gross, but the thing that dirtied them is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brandon, when you bury your feet in the sand at the beach, you're briefly wearing the earth's shoes.
Hey, that's good.
Thank you.
Good thing.
Thank you. We all want superpowers. That's because we all have super weaknesses.
Oh, so true. What would your superpower be?
Mine would be to have everything I say funny. Wouldn't it be nice if that was true?
Oh, people get tired of laughing at you. I mean, with you. I mean, yeah, at you.
Shut up, Wesley.
And this one blew my mind, especially while I was eating it in the shower. A bread bowl is technically a soup sandwich.
Yes.
Sourdough bread bowl.
All right, here comes Val with unusual museums she'd like to visit.
Oh, yeah. First on my list is the National Corvette Museum sinkhole.
Sinkhole?
In February 2014, a 40-foot wide, 30-foot deep sinkhole appeared in Bowling Green, Kentucky, swallowing 8 rare vehicles in the collection of the National Corvette Museum. The gaping hole has since been filled in, but you can still see the unlucky cars.
So sad.
Oh, can't wait to visit that. Museum of Broken Relationships. They've got a special display just for Scott.
Wow.
That's the right wing of the museum, actually.
Wow.
Hey,
Croatian artist.
Shut up.
Sorry.
When Croatian artists Olinka Vestina and Drazen Grubisky called it quits. They created the Museum of Broken Relationships in Zagreb, where the mementos of their time as a couple would remain together, even as they went their separate ways. In the years since, countless others have donated often unexpected relics of their own ill-fated romances to the collection.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
Oh, is that what you want?
Yup.
Because that's how you get ants.
Sorry.
Yeah. How about the International Cryptozoology Museum?
Ooh, I've
It's
been
easy.
there.
Oh, Brad would want to go to this.
Yeah, I've
It's
been
easy to dismiss Bigfoot, the Yeti, the Loch Ness Monster, and other cryptids as fodder for the X-Files, but the International Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine, no wonder why you've been, with its unrivaled collection of mysterious objects, shows that when investigations into unknown creatures are done right, they can have real scientific value and be a lot of fun.
I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook page, but I've got the creature from the Black Lagoon behind me in one, and Sasquatch in another. Those were all taken at the Cryptozoology Museum.
So was there ever anything that you'd never heard of?
Yeah, there was some weird stuff like chupacabra type things from other countries and stuff that I hadn't heard of before. The one though that I found most impressive was Kennewick Man. The bones they found of the cross, where they think might be one of the connecting links between man and ape, and they had the like a clay thing of the Kennewick Man, and then a clay thing of Patrick Stewart because he looks just like Kennewick Man. That was pretty good.
Just wait till they find Chihuahua Man.
So we have a
That's
family
the hillbilly
members.
teeth.
There you go.
Sorry.
We have family members who, you know how when you're driving sometimes in your car and you get that splat that's like just clear liquid, instead of like, your bugs that you hit or whatever that leave yellow or whatever, it's just that clear liquid splat. They had some like thing around that it was actually some interdimensional something or another that caused that splat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Good Vibrations Antique Vibrator Museum. I won't say any more.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Jeez.
Evidently, the collection started in the 1800s.
Yeah, 1800s to the 1970s, approximately 100 vibrators in chronological order.
Quiet! I can't hear myself lie!
And right along with that, what's your last one, Val?
The Atomic Museum. Forget the Strip. Las Vegas, Nevada was once the preferred tourist destination for watching weapons of mass destruction explode. The Atomic Museum, previously known as the National Atomic Testing Museum, is a memorial to that time with more than 12,000 artifacts that tell the story of the Nevada test site and the nation's nuclear program, as well as its impact on the city and its surrounding communities in the 1950s and 60s.
That sounds scary.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary one.
Here, look at this nuclear waste artifacts.
Look, my hand's glowing.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then they turn off the lights. Look, you can see how you glow.
All right, we're going to wrap up Bits and Breaks for today with Brandon Hanson and his favorite food failures.
All right, so the food industry, we've seen at the grocery store, like all the different flavors of chips and all that fun stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Museum of Failure, which sounds like an awesome museum, has created some of the biggest food failures. So let's first go with the Heinz Easy Squirt Ketchup. Yes, Heinz decided to innovate by turning its ketchup purple, green, I remember this, and several shades in between. Brightly colored ketchup was initially a hit with customers, but it ended up being discontinued by 2006 as customers went back to the regular red ketchup. I'm going to say people don't like purple stuff on their hot dog. I would just...
Just a guess.
I remember this too. Maybe this museum is for me. The McDonald's Arch Deluxe. McDonald's spent a reported $200 million developing and marketing the Arch Deluxe, which was a premium item meant to dethrone the Big Mac. However, franchisees found it difficult to make, and customers thought it was overpriced, and it was removed from menus in 2000.
Oh.
Do you guys remember the Arch Deluxe?
I do not, but I was going to say the McDonald's is the #1 American fast food joint in Australia.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Crikey. Sorry.
Here's another food failure. Colgate frozen dinners. Yes, Colgate made a brief move into frozen foods in the 1980s, including a frozen lasagna TV dinner. You know, the toothpaste maker?
Yeah.
So did it have floss included? Or
I hope so.
No, but the lasagna did have a thin layer of toothpaste.
Minty flavor.
Yes.
Kellogg's orange juice flavored cereal. My goodness.
Oh.
Kellogg introduced OJ's in 1985, advertising the cereal's natural flavors and how it had all the vitamin C of a 4-ounce glass of orange juice. Other customers found the combination of orange juice and milk disgusting, and Kellogg discontinued the cereal a year later.
You know how when you add orange juice and like milk or anything, how it curdles instantly? That's kind of what I'm picturing in my mind.
Maybe you should buy some newer milk.
Yes, maybe. And this is the good one, the big one.
Okay.
In 1992, Pepsi introduced Crystal Pepsi, caffeine-free clear version of its iconic soda. However, it didn't last 2 years before it was yanked from shelves. The former Pepsi marketing executive who came up with the idea called it probably the best idea I've ever had and the most poorly executed.
Huh.
Yes,
I remember
Crystal
that.
Pepsi. Yeah.
I don't think so. All right.
Well, I'm just saying, it's sad. I remember nearly all of these food failures. Does that say something about me?
No, nothing.
I want to know what happened to first Grape Tang, why you can't find it in stores anymore, but you can just find the orange. What happened to Grape Tang? It was awesome. And then the other one, I don't remember what the brand was, but they were different kinds of spread that you could put on your bread or your toast. I remember one of them was delicious. It was banana spread, and it was yellow, and you could put it on your sandwich or your toast or anything like that.
I can kind of remember that.
I used to just steal it from the cupboard and take a spoon and eat it all.
Was it just banana or was it banana peanut butter?
No, it was just banana. It was just banana.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
It brings out the Elvis in me. Hey, wait a minute. There's something wrong with my leg. I won't stop shaking.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, wrapping up this version of your KCHW morning show with Val getting her face cleaned by a cat live online. And Mr. Brandon Hanson helping us out, too. We call the first part the news attack, where the first sentence is true, second sentence always a bad joke, and Val gets to kick us off.
According to a study, daydreaming while driving is even more dangerous than texting while driving, especially if you're daydreaming about texting.
I wish I could text while I drove.
I know.
Brandon.
Oh, you want me to go?
I want you to go, yes.
How exciting. Working up a sweat while performing household chores can benefit your mental health. Yes. A study conducted by men suggests.
Did you know, honey? If you work up a sweat while doing the chores, it'll benefit your mental health.
I'm using that one. Hold on.
King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla will use an air-conditioned horse-drawn coach for their coronation ride next month. An air-conditioned. Okay. I'm not sure if they're trying to preserve tradition or just found the perfect excuse to avoid awkward conversations with an Uber driver.
Oh.
Same story again? Val?
All right, same story again. King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla will use an air-conditioned horse-drawn coach for their coronation ride next month, in case you hadn't heard that. I guess they figured, why choose between being fancy and being comfortable when you can have both? It's like dining at a 5-star restaurant in your sweatpants.
I've done that.
Are they worried about it being hot in May or something?
Yeah, it never gets hot in England.
Yeah, it's going to be like 62 degrees and raining. So, yeah.
You've heard about global warming, though. Remember how hot it got there last year?
Yeah. In May, though?
All right, Brandon, you're up.
Somebody spent $25 million on centuries-old Chinese bowl. Yeah. I guess they really wanted to take their ramen experience to the next level.
So is a Chinese bowl with food in it or just a bowl? I'm confused. Val, will you try again?
Man.
Let's see if you can make it funnier.
All right, someone spent $25 million on a centuries-old Chinese bowl, and I'm starting to wonder if I should have kept the vintage plastic bowl I got from a garage sale.
You know, neither one of those was funny.
Not at all.
Okay.
President Joe Biden, who's 80, told Al Roker on the Today Show that he plans to run for re-election. His campaign promises include universal health care, clean energy, an extra large print version of the Constitution for the White House Library.
He's going to be, 84? That'll be great. No, 86. Hey.
He could be our first president in a walker.
Man, that'd be fantastic. We could add a new nursing home wing to the White House.
Yeah.
What cracked me up is he said, when he said that, he's like, yeah, I'm going to run, but we'll announce it later. You just kind of announced it.
Oops.
Oops.
But he'll forget. He'll forget quickly.
Okay.
All right. Off to Washington State, Brandon Hanson.
Okay, in Washington State, where we live, except for Scott, because he's lame and is in Maine. Burglars made off with $500,000 in merchandise from an Apple store by cutting a hole in the bathroom wall of a neighboring store. Yes, I can only imagine the surprise that faces the Apple employees when they realized the bathroom was the biggest security vulnerability. I guess you could say they found a leak in their system.
Well, that's one of the better jokes so far.
So far, those, they weren't good.
Oh no! We suck again!
We'll see if we can amp it up a little bit here with wacky but true. Starting off with some bees. Bees are considered an omen of good fortune in China. So when a man found a swarm of bees building their nest in his car, he decided to just drive the car with his new winged companions. Man has a series of videos of himself. I'm sure you can see him on YouTube today. Calmly driving in his car with bees swarming around inside the vehicle. I'd be afraid to lean forward and lean back and, catch one.
Talk about distracted driving.
Most people would freak out at the sight of a single bee flying around their head, but the Chinese driver was all smiles and even boasted that he was going to be rich, referring to the belief that bees visiting one's home was a good omen. It's unclear how the bees got into the car or why they chose it as their place of congregation or why he just loves it so much. But I do have this clip from one of his videos.
Bees! Bees! Bees in the car! Bees everywhere! God, they're huge! They're ripping my flesh off!
Ripping your flesh off.
Yes. All right, on to Nashville, Val.
All right. Police say 30-year-old Stephen Nolan was jailed Saturday for trying to fight pedestrians in downtown Nashville. Police observed Nolan being told multiple times by pedestrians to leave them alone and walk away, but he refused. Officers then spoke with Nolan and could smell alcohol, coming from his breath and say he had bloodshot eyes. Officers determined him to be a danger to himself and others and took him into custody.
Oh, live to the scene?
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. Now go away or I shall taunt you a second time.
All right. Brandon, chicken wing assault.
Yes, a Florida man, shocking, allegedly struck his wife with a box of chicken wings during an argument about infidelity. An assault that left the victim splattered with hot sauce and her spouse behind bars on an assault charge, or as we like to say in Florida, another Tuesday. Police say that Robert Audette and his wife were arguing about his relationship with another woman when the dispute turned violent. I have a feeling those chicken wings are going to end up in the failed relationship museum.
All right, here's the song he sang afterwards.
I gave my love a chicken, it had no bone. Chicken.
Yep,
I don't know how she ended up splattered with chicken when he was the one cheating.
Some of us just hate to be accused, even if we did it. Right, Brandon? Oops. All right. To get her video game playing husband's attention, a Japanese woman made up a story that she'd been attacked. Woman told police someone with a box cutter attacked her. She said her jacket had been slashed, but she suffered no injuries. Police were suspicious of her story, and the woman was charged with wasting police time. Huh. Here's the kind of stuff she likes to pull usually, though.
So tell me you love me. Please, 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 please. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Oh, tell me, tell me.
All right, Val, you get to wrap it all up with a trip to Germany.
All right. In Germany, an unemployed man went to jail in place of his brother. He went to jail in place of his brother as a way to get sober.
Ooh.
His brother had been sentenced for promoting prostitution, but the brother agreed to serve the 10-month term as a way to quit drinking. Authorities caught on and swapped in the real law-breaking brother.
Oh, that's horrible. Hold on.
Like my brother can tell the difference between beers by what his burps taste like.
Oh. You need to hear that again? It's kind of hard. One more time.
Like my brother can tell the difference between beers by what his burps taste like.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Brandon, can
Tastes
you do...
like PBR.
Brandon, can you do that?
No, I can't.
One from yesterday. Mail officials were suspicious of a postman in the UK over claims he was stealing mail. They planted a gift card in his bag to see what he would do with it. It was not delivered nor returned. Then they planted another package. The same one we used to frame Brandon. This one with a woman's panties and bra. That package also disappeared. Security camera showed him taking the package. Investigators confronted the man who denied the thefts, but in a search, investigators found him to be wearing the panties. And believe it or
Trying
not,
to hide the evidence.
yes, I've got a sound effect for that too.
Odds are they're probably basic white cotton underpants. But I started thinking, well, maybe they're silk panties. Maybe it's a thong. Maybe it's something really cool that I don't even know about. You know, maybe they're silk.
I hope it was a thong. All right, so we're gonna wrap up the show.
You didn't see the. You haven't seen the video of your nephew Travis doing the pond skim up at 49 degrees north. So he came down the hill and made it all the way across the pond. And when you followed him across the pond and got to see the backside of him, he had a whale tail showing.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was his whole plan. I was trying to figure out why his girlfriend said, "You better give me your belt." I'm like, what are they doing?
Huh. Will you post that? All right, Val, I'm going to give you a chance here at the end. Upcoming, you said it's not this weekend, but give us a little tease about the art show that you're participating in.
Yes, the Chihuahua Center for the Arts is hosting a spring art cleanup sale. It's for local artists that can bring their wares and sell them. And so that is April 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m.
All right, so like on Earth Day.
Yes,
Or kinda-
come check it out and support your local artists.
All right, and that'll be a great day, too, because a lot of people are going to be out and about for Chihuahua Cleanup on the 22nd, which we always do following Earth Day. So you'll be able to swing over to the Chihuahua Center for the Arts and check out some art and say hi to Val from the radio, too.
Yes, we'd love to see everyone. Say hi.
All right, and Mr. Brandon Hanson, who primarily, you've got so many jobs, but he does work a full-time job for TED. And where are you at this week? Usually you're live at a library.
Yeah, actually today I'll be down at the Lakeside Library from 10 to 2 p.m.
Right.
Giving out small business advice there.
All right. Think about opening a business, stop in and talk to Brandon, take advantage of all the services the Tri-County Economic Development District rolls out for people. All right. All right, you two, thank you very much. Valerie Hunter and Brandon Hanson. And don't forget, people love Brandon Hanson.
Shut up, Wesley.
Have a great day. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. Tomorrow it is myself and Mr. Mike Betts. We'll see you then.
So tell me you love me. Please, 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 please. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Oh, tell me, tell me.
Bees! Bees! Bees in the car! Bees everywhere! God, they're huge! They're ripping my flesh off!
Let them eat static.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This portion of programming made possible by a donation from
New Health. Are you looking to get your COVID-19 booster? New Health is hosting a booster event in Chewelah with their mobile clinic. This event will be located at the City Park on May 4th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. No appointment required. Come and receive your booster or ask questions about the COVID-19 vaccine. Don't miss out on this opportunity to protect yourself and your loved ones. For more information, visit them at newhealth.org or call 509-935-6004. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety